Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Another edition of 3R. I had no plans to make a video this weekend. Once in a while, something catches your attention and kind of inspires you. And to that, I give you Metallica's Kirk Hammett. Now, I am not a big Metallica fan. I, like most non-speed metal fans, dig the Black Album. Think it's a really strong album. As far as speed metal goes, it's a nice attempt at melodic playing and singing. It's really one of my favorite albums. Period. I mean, definitely in the top maybe 30. And being Metallica, that's pretty impressive for me. But Kirk Hammett goes on and says, non-musicians, and this is something I've wanted to talk to you about for a while, because this is the way I've felt pretty much most of my adult life, especially as I got into playing guitar more seriously. But non-musicians are not going to remember a guitar solo. Okay, so he goes on to say, in a recent interview with UK's Total Guitar magazine, said, the only people who truly care about guitar solos are other guitarists. People are not going to remember a great solo. I hate to say it for all your readers out there. They will remember a great melody. They will remember a great song. And I'm not talking about musicians. Musicians will remember a great guitar solo, but non-musicians, who are the majority of the fucking listening world, they are not going to remember great guitar solos. Remember the melody. Okay, so they're repeating themselves here. So basically, I mean, he goes out in here and he says, well, just to show you his, I think there's a KISS quote in here somewhere about writing their own music. Let's see, where the hell was it? Make a fucking liar out of me, motherfucker. Well, I thought it was in here, but maybe I'm smoking something, even though I don't smoke anything. But anyway, he's basically saying what I've kind of felt most of my life. Sorry, I'm going to leave this up here if you guys want to peruse it a little bit. Oh, yeah, here it is. He said, when you start writing tunes, look at KISS. They write their own song. They write all their own songs, and Aerosmith and Van Halen. So John and I started writing music, meaning John Marshall, when he was 15 years old. And it was a lot of crap, but it was something. So that's kind of beside the point. But where I was going with this is, you have, and when you're young, when I was young, right, I was into, the shredding. I couldn't do it, but I was into listening to the Shredders, and it was cool. The whole Michelangelo Badio thing from Nitro, and of course Vinnie, and it was always like the faster you could play, the better guitar player you were, stupid kid stuff. And then you start to become an adult, and you start to get more in tune with your instrument, and you start to realize that each note's got to matter. And it's so true that a flashy guitar solo is great. It's exciting. But at the end of the day, you do forget it. And and stay tuned through this as much as I'm stuttering and fucking working my way through this. I just woke up a few minutes ago, so. But I'm going to go through and give you examples here, some video clips of where I really wanted to take this video, in that the guitar solos should complement and improve the song. They shouldn't be a standalone show-off segment. One of my favorite players of all time is Nuno Bettencourt. And I fell in love with him and Extreme during their first album. And the reason he stood out for me so much is his solos, no matter how, fast or flashy, he made that guitar sing. It said something. The melody of the solo stuck with you. He got deemed, a rock god throughout the years, and I don't care for his playing much anymore because it seems like he is falling victim to the look at me syndrome that most, guitar greats do, to where you look at Rise, like I've mentioned in many videos, that a song off their latest album, while the solo tore up the internet, with all the holy shits and check this out, and that's great. But immediately upon first listen, I knew it didn't fit the song. And it's more or less like, here's a song. Oh, here's 5 minutes of showing you how fast I can play. And then let's cut back into the song. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't fit. Where a real good song, the solo blends into the song. It enhances it, it highlights, but it doesn't take away from the song, and it doesn't try to be its own entity within the song. So over my, aging years, I've gotten more into melodic players, and I really don't have much time for shredders. Some of my favorite players now, Michael Kelly Smith from Britney Fox, Warren D. Martini from Rat, back in the day. If you look at Rat's Invasion of Your Privacy album, one of the greatest metal albums ever, and by far Rat's best album, the tone and the way Warren and Robin Crosby play on that is just magical. Every solo sings, it fits, the rhythm parts, everything's at one with itself on that album. It's just, to me, a perfect metal album or hard rock album, whatever you want to call it. So I started thinking, everybody's got a preference, and like I said, usually when you're younger, you're into the shredding, and as you get older, you start to appreciate the guitar talking to you rather than screaming at you. Something you could sing along with, something you can hum along with, something to where the solo sticks with you as much as the song sticks with you. And so I want to play a couple examples of what I'm talking about here. So we're going to go into number one of a classic example of a very talented guitarist, an incredibly impressive solo, but clearly is fighting with the song, becoming noisy and confusing and taking away from the song. So here we go, first one. So there we go. Of course, that's Vinnie Vincent's Invasion. Now, I'm not going to dog on the band. I absolutely loved that first album, and I didn't mind the second album with Mark Slaughter. But a current theme on this album, and you got some great, what would be melodic tunes. Baby O is one of my favorites. Back on the Streets is just an awesome, harder edge ballad. Of course, Boys Are Gonna Rock. You got Twisted. You got Animal. These are all really good songs. But they all have something in common, at least in my opinion, is a very loud solo that does not fit the song. It just kind of comes out of fucking nowhere and punches you in the face. And I'm not saying they're bad solos. They're awesome solos, but at the end of the day, my opinion is the solos are important, especially for establishing fans of your guitar player. But there's a time and place. Some songs, a solo like that will fit, not very often. But for the most part, if you want to do the solos, do them live. just your own, or even do like a little 45-second, minute and a half solo on the album, but keep it out of the song. I mean, you clearly, I mean, maybe some people like that. I mean, I like the song Boys Are Gonna Rock, but maybe some people like their loud shredding guitar in the middle of a song. It's just not for me. And now I want to get to an example of how I think a solo should be handled. It sings, it moves you, it belongs in the song, it furthers the song, it enhances the song. So here we go, number 2.
Love me tonight in the night.
See what I'm saying? Such a beautiful guitar tone and solo. First of all, God, I love that song. Frehley's Comet, that first album, was just phenomenal. I wish they would have kept that band together. But back to the song, it just sings. And even after, they go back into the chorus, it's still singing and bringing it all together. It's got passion and feeling, and it's not about look how fast I am. It's look how I can make this guitar sing to you. Just a beautiful, beautiful solo in a great song. So, and I'm going somewhere with this. And there's a movie, and I don't know how many may or may not have seen this. There's actually 2 movies that I think are 2 of the greatest, really underrated and unmentioned movies when it comes to rock music movies. It is Eddie and the Cruisers and Eddie and the Cruisers 2. And if you haven't seen this, I strongly, strongly recommend. You won't be disappointed. But in Eddie and the Cruisers 2, it deals with this issue exactly. And I'm going to show you what I'm saying. The first guy would be your shredder. The second guy would be your true visionary, true guitarist that knows how to talk with the instrument and make it fit. So here we go. Before this goes into the next segment, I will say it's a really good sounding solo. I love the tone of the guitar, but you'll see what I mean when the other guy plays his take.
Not bad.
Not bad? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Not bad means not bad.
And I suppose thanks for nothing means thanks for nothing, right?
Listen, if I was in a bar and I heard you play, it'd be nice being in there. Then I'd go home and I'd forget all about it. That's what not bad means.
Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, you don't want the truth, don't ask. Make up your own, like everybody else.
Look, man, I want to learn. Is that okay?
You ain't gonna learn nothing by impressing yourself with some 5-minute guitar riff. I mean, it was good. It would dazzle an audience, but that's the easy part.
Okay, hold on a second, hotshot. Well, why don't you show me something I don't know?
Music's gotta live, man. It's gotta breathe. So let it breathe.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to do that?
Practice. And hard work.
So hopefully you get an idea of what I'm saying here. It's just shredding has its place, and for me, it's not in the middle of a song. And that's just my take. There's a lot of talented guitar players from every genre of music, and they all bring something to the music. But for me, I love lead guitar. I love rhythm guitar. But I love it when it is used, in my opinion, correctly in the song. And that is, the song is more important than a drum solo or a guitar solo. The song is a living, breathing entity, and every instrument and every vocal should add to it, not overpower it, not take away from it. And that segment in the movie stood out for me my entire adult life. It is so true. And proof in the pudding, that solo that the character Eddie from Eddie and the Cruisers played after the shredder is something you could sing to, is something you can hum along to. And that will help people remember and identify your song forever. And I will finish this by showing you exactly what that reminds me of, and I can see this scenario with that solo. And I'll show you what I feel is still to this day the greatest lead guitar solo melody of all time. And you can see what it can do to a crowd. It helps when you got the greatest singer of all time doing stuff like that. But you see what I mean, and I believe that was Ezrin who wrote that solo for that song at the Destroyer recording sessions. One of the most legendary solos of all time. You've got hundreds of thousands of people singing the solo on top of the words, on top of the chorus. They know the solo like they know the words. You're not going to get that from a 3-minute clusterfuck rise solo by Extreme. I mean, can you imagine a crowd trying to sing along with something like that? It's not going to stick in your memory. guitar players out there will have boners for it. I get it. It's impressive. It does nothing for the song. So hopefully I got my take across here. And yeah, it's just, and for those of you, I urge you, go to the channel, Gen X Jukebox, click on our icon on this video, or go to the channel. For those of you who think I've been bagging on Ace Frehley a lot, and I have, but it's in defense of KISS, go to the community section. You're going to see proof on there that I have always loved Ace Frehley from a very young age. There's a photo on there of me dressed up as Ace Frehley. It's a lot of fun. I just put it on there. But I show you here how much I appreciate Ace in his playing. He was he was the first person I thought of when putting out how a solo should be done. So this is just my take, and it's ironic that it was inspired by a guitar player who mainly shreds and plays lightning fast, angry music. But yeah, so just tell me what you think. What are some of your favorite solos? What are some of your favorite guitar players? Do you prefer shredding? Do you prefer melodic stuff? I look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, thanks for watching.